This week's Parsha is Parshat Shoftim. Parshat Shoftim talks again about a lot of the laws that have to do with the people of Israel once they're inside of the land of Israel. It sets out an entire plan for how to run a nation. And it begins with the whole judiciary, all of the judges that will be at your gates. And it continues to the laws of the king and to the laws of war. I just wanted to bring a couple examples that show how the different levels of interpretation make the Torah relevant to our own lives. The first one is about the judges. About the judges, the simple interpretation is judges and guards you shall have at each one of your gates, meaning that there's a commandment in the ideal kind of Jewish settlement that there will be almost a walled city, and every single one of the gates will have a court. And the court will be led by sages, and people will bring those sages their questions and will have guidance on all sorts of questions from the most mundane to the most spiritual. And of course, the courts also require some sort of guards. A simpler or maybe a more deep interpretation of this is that the cities themselves are a metaphor for human beings. And human beings have a quality of being like an entire city of organs, of feelings, of emotions, of different types of inputs and outputs, and all of our relationship with other cities. So if we consider ourselves to be a city, what are the gates? The gates are our eyes, our ears, our mouth, everything that absorbs from the world, everything that draws things in from the outside. If we think about that, what does it mean to have guards and judges at your gates? Well, one of the great Hasidic masters, the Rabbi Tzadok Cohen of Lublin, said that this meant that for each of our senses, we should have a sense of discernment, a kind of a wisdom that goes along with that sense. We should be aware of what that sense is feeding into our entire being, all of our consciousness, and we should be thinking about what it is that sense gives us and how it affects us. And we should have judges, so to speak. We should be discerning, we should be aware, and we should be conscious. For all of the aspects of eyes, for all of the aspects of ears, everything that we hear, everything that we taste, we should have a sense that we're treating it with the deepest wisdom that we have and being conscious of it. So if a person can meditate on this, this is something that can give them guidance in many aspects of their lives. Because everything about who we are has to do with the inputs and outputs that we receive from the world. For a modern person, it's also possible to reinterpret that on the level of an entire society, because all of the society is built around sources of information, sources of data. And the quality of that data, the quality of the information that allows us to form opinions as a society or to engage in debate as a society, all of that information itself needs to be treated with deep wisdom. So I wish everyone a chance to delve more deeply into this parasha and to get ideas of your own that will inspire you. Shabbat Shalom.